Hey, CMA final students. From assessment of various entities chapter, two questions are coming. One question is always coming from benefits that are not available under 115 BAC, 115 BAB and 115 BAA. Second question is coming from MAT concept, minimum alternate tax concept. So from this chapter, definitely two questions will come. Tomorrow also, my high expectation question will come from MAT and question will also come from benefits not available under 115 BAC, 115 BAB, 115 BAA. So in this video, I will explain these two concepts and I will revise them very quickly. Let us see what are the benefits that are not allowable under section 115 BAC. If you take the head salaries, in salaries head, deductions are there under section 16. There are three deductions: standard deduction, entertainment allowance, profession tax. Entertainment allowance, profession tax, these two deductions are not available under default tax rates. That means if you choose 115 BAC default tax rates, you cannot get profession tax and entertainment allowance. Standard deduction is available both under default tax rates as well as under optional tax rates. Under default, standard deduction is 75,000. Under optional, standard deduction is 50,000. Next, LTC benefit is also not available under default tax rates. Leave travel concession. Next, HRA exemption is also not available under default tax rates. Next, specified allowances exempt under section 1014. See, there are four allowances: traveling allowance, transport allowance, conveyance allowance, transport allowance for those physically handicapped employees. So, travel or transfer allowance, daily allowance, conveyance allowance, transport allowance for physically handicapped employees. For these four allowances, exemption is available both under default tax rates as well as under optional tax rates. But like remaining allowances, exemption is available only under optional tax rates. Exemption is not available under default tax rates. So under default tax rates, you can claim exemption only for four, like daily allowance, conveyance allowance, travel or transfer allowance, transport allowance for physically handicapped employees. Only these. Remaining all allowances exemption not available. Next. Loss from house property is generally eligible for inter-head set off up to rupees 2 lakhs. That inter-head set off of 2 lakh rupees is not available under default tax rates. So simply under default tax rates under section 115 BAC, loss from house property is not eligible for inter-head set off. And it cannot be carried forward to subsequent years also. So loss from house property, don't do inter-head set off, don't carry forward to subsequent years, only eligible for intra-head set off under section 115 BAC. Next, PGBP. Additional depreciation benefit is not available under 115 BAC. Specified business deduction. There are list of 14 businesses, deduction under section 35 AD. Those 14 businesses, specified business deduction 35 AD, that is also not available under default tax rates. Next, deduction for scientific research. Like if you give donation for scientific research, social research, statistical research, for approved research association, approved college, approved university, that is not available under default tax rates. Scientific research classified into two types: in-house scientific research, donations. In-house scientific research is eligible for deduction both under default tax rates as well as under optional tax rates. But second one is there, donation given to scientific research association, that is not available under default tax rates. Next, while clubbing of income, generally 1500 exemption is available when minor income is clubbed in the hands of parents. That 1500 exemption is also not available if SSC is paying taxes under default tax rates. Next, loss set off and carry forward of losses. I told you, loss from house property not eligible for inter-head set off. It cannot be carried forward to subsequent years also. Next, Chapter 6A deductions. Chapter 6A deductions are not available under default tax rates except three sections: 80CCD2, 80CCH2, 80JJAA. These three sections you can claim deduction both under default tax rates as well as under optional tax rates. Like other than these three sections, you cannot claim deduction under default tax rates. Next. Deduction under section 10AA says units, first 5 years 100% of profits are eligible for deduction, next 5 years 50% of profits. So whatever deduction under section 10AA is there, that is not available under default tax rates. That benefit is available only under optional tax rates. Next, all MPs and MLAs, if they receive any allowance that is exempt under section 1017, but those allowances are not exempt under default tax rates. MPs, MLAs, they will receive telephone allowance, they will receive, travel allowance, whatever the allowance is received by MP, MLA, exempt under section 1017, but that benefit is available only under optional tax rates. Under default tax rates, the benefit is not available. Another thing, AMT, alternate minimum tax provisions are also not applicable if SSC is paying taxes under 115 BAC. Okay, so what he will do, he will frame one question having all these adjustments. He will ask you to calculate tax liability as per default tax rates. He will also ask you to calculate tax liability as per optional tax rates. So you need to do tax calculation under both ways, and you need to calculate the final tax liability. Okay, so whatever these benefits are there, these benefits are not available to company also under section 115 BAB, 115 BAA. So simply remember, if SSC is paying taxes under 115 series, all these benefits, whatever that you are seeing, all these benefits are not available. Are you able to understand? Now we will discuss MAT, minimum alternate tax. So this MAT concept is applicable for companies, all types of companies, whether it is government company, private limited company, public limited company, like domestic company, foreign company. For every type of company, MAT provisions are applicable unless that company is paying taxes under 115 BA or 115 BAB. If it is paying tax under 115 BA or 115 BAB, MAT provisions are not applicable. So, as per MAT provisions, every company, every year, it is required to pay tax as per normal provisions or MAT, whichever is higher. So, what we will do, like we will calculate PGBP income. On PGBP income, we will calculate total income and we will calculate regular tax liability. And then we will calculate MAT. So, regular tax or MAT, whichever is higher is payable. Okay. Sir, how to calculate MAT? MAT is basically calculated on book profits. Book profits into 15% MAT rate plus applicable surcharge plus HEC at the rate of 4%. That is called as MAT. Book profit into 15% plus applicable surcharge plus HEC. And if company is located in IFSC, International Financial Service Center, surcharge rate applicable is not 15%. Surcharge rate applicable is, MAT rate applicable is 9%. So regular tax or MAT, whichever is higher, MAT is equal to book profits into 15% plus applicable surcharge plus HEC. If company is located in IFSC, instead of 15%, MAT rate is 9%. Now, so every year, regular tax or MAT, whichever is higher, is payable. Possibility 1, MAT can be greater than normal tax. If MAT is greater than normal tax, which is payable, whichever is higher means MAT is payable. As MAT is payable, over and above regular tax, whatever the excess MAT paid is there, excess MAT is paid is allowed as MAT credit, and it can be carried forward up to 15 assessment years. Possibility 2, normal tax greater than MAT. If normal tax is greater than MAT, then minimum MAT is payable. Normal tax minus MAT, whatever it is there, that can be used to set off brought forward MAT credit. If there is excess MAT credit after you set off, then balance, if any, it will be added to tax payable. Are you able to understand? Now we need to see calculation of book profits. In calculation of book profits, I will explain some adjustments which are very important and which will come in the exam. So for calculation of book profits, what is base? Base is net profit as per P&L account of Schedule 3. In Schedule 3, you will prepare P&L and balance sheet, right? Companies Act Schedule 3. So as per Companies Act Schedule 3, whatever the net profit is there, that net profit we will take as base. And for that net profit, we will do some additions and we will also reduce certain adjustments. What are the additions that we do? Whatever the income tax expenses are there, income tax paid, surcharge paid, HEC paid, interest, late fees, all these are required to be added back. Amount paid under income tax provisions required to be added back. However, whatever the penalty is there, when you are calculating PGBP income, you need to add back penalty under Income Tax Act also. But when you are calculating book profits, whatever the penalty paid under income tax, don't add back. That is not required to be added back. Next, amount transferred to any reserve. Let's say P&L account debit to general reserve. If you transfer any amount to general reserve, that is required to be added back. Similarly, if you transfer any amount from reserve to P&L account, that is required to be reduced. Amount transferred from any reserve, if such reserve is created through P&L account earlier. So from any reserve, if you transfer money to P&L account, that is required to be reduced. Are you able to understand? Next, second. Dividend paid. Dividend is not expenditure. Dividend is appropriation of profits. So dividend paid is required to be added back, including deemed dividend, including proposed dividend. So the moment you see dividend, add it back while calculating the book profits. Next, provision for unascertained or contingent liability. So if there is any unascertained liability or contingent liability for which you have created the provision, that is required to be added back. Okay. But if any provision is created on scientific and rational basis, no adjustment is required. Are you able to understand? Provision for diminution in value of assets. For example, provision for bad debts is there. That provision is not created against liability. That provision is created against assets. Against debtors, we create provision for bad debts. So, not only provision created against liability, even provision created against asset is also required to be added back. Provision for diminution in value of assets. Next, there are some incomes exempt under section 10, 11, 12. Agricultural income is there. If there is agricultural income, then agricultural income is to be excluded. Any income already exempt under section 10, 11, 12, if it is credited to P&L account, remove it, reduce it. And whatever the expenses relating to those exemptions are there, those expenses are required to be added back. Are you able to understand? Expenses relating to income exempt under section 10, 11, 12 is required to be added back. Next, if there is any deferred tax liability, that is required to be added back. If there is any deferred tax asset, that is required to be reduced. So, entry for deferred tax liability, P&L account debit to deferred tax liability, that is not allowed, add back. Entry for deferred tax asset account debit to P&L account, not allowed, reduce deferred tax asset. Okay. Next, provision for loss of subsidiary company, that is required to be added back. Next, royalty income. If royalty income is taxable under 115 BBF at the rate of 10%, that royalty income is required to be reduced. And whatever the expenses relating to that royalty income debited to P&L account are there, they are required to be added back. So you can see expenses relating to royalty income debited to P&L account, that is required to be added back. Next, AOP. AOP is taxable at MMR, maximum marginal rate. As AOP is already paying tax at MMR, share of profit received from AOP is not taxable. So exclude share of profit received from AOP, and expenses relating to share of profit from AOP is required to be added back. Are you able to understand? So expenses relating to share of profit, add back, and share of profit from AOP, reduce it while calculating the book profits. Next, you need to add back depreciation. Careful. Companies Act depreciation, you have to add back, and you also have to reduce Companies Act depreciation. Don't reduce income tax depreciation. You have to add back companies depreciation, and you also require to reduce depreciation as per Companies Act, excluding depreciation on revalued assets. That means when you are reducing, you have to reduce Companies Act depreciation minus depreciation on revalued assets. Are you able to understand? So here we are playing with P&L account of Companies Act. Don't go to income tax. Add back Companies Act depreciation. Reduce Companies Act depreciation minus depreciation on revalued assets. Net amount reduce. Okay. Generally, foreign company is like, in case of foreign companies, capital gain, interest, royalty, dividend, these are taxable at a rate lower than 15%. MAT rate is 15%. So any income that is taxable to foreign company at a rate less than 15% is there, that is required to be reduced, and expenses relating to that income are required to be added back while calculating the book profits. Are you able to understand? And another important adjustments, brought forward losses or unabsorbed depreciation, whichever is lower. And brought forward losses, unabsorbed depreciation not as per Income Tax Act, as per Companies Act only, whatever the brought forward losses, unabsorbed depreciation are there, whichever is lower, both are not allowed as reduction, either brought forward losses as per Companies Act or unabsorbed depreciation as per Companies Act, whichever is lower is required to be reduced. These are the important adjustments in MAT calculation, book profit calculation. Sufficient, go through these adjustments. Okay, I wish you all the very best. Don't panic. Go to exam confidently. Okay, thank you.